Hi YouTube, this is Akisa Truesdale. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile for Blue Eyes Prophecy. It's an idea that originally came from the OCG and with Spellbook of Judgment Day was upon us. And I've just kind of interpreted it into the OCG version with all the cards that came out. So this is the deck profile. I hope you enjoy it. Alright. So first of all, we've got 3 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, fairly standard lineup here to begin with. 2 High Priestess of Prophecy. Please don't be angry with the fact that I don't have secrets. I got it all in one go, so this is just what came with it. 2 Effect Veiler. Again, still nothing too untoward. And we move on to the Blue Eyes bit, which consists of 2 Maiden with Eyes of Blue and 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Mine are very, very pretty. That's kind of the main Blue Eyes element of it until we get to the extra deck. I'll explain how the whole Blue Eyes engine works in one moment as we get to the Spellbook cards. First of all, we've got 3 Spellbook of Secrets. You have to run 3. If you don't run 3, you're just never going to get the searches off that you need. 3 Spellbook of the Master. A lot of people, pure prophecy decks, only run 1 Spellbook of the Master, 2 Spellbook of the Master even. This one's 3 because you need it to be able to copy some of the targeting Spellbook spell cards, and I just personally prefer 3. 2 Spellbook Library of the Crescent. Again, it just adds a little bit of consistency. You don't really want to run more than 2 because else you dead draw it late game. 2 Grand Spellbook of Tower. I know a lot of prophecy decks nowadays are just running 1. I still quite like the 2, just because people still do MST towers. They still try and get rid of them because they just don't like you having the extra card. But this build, that's okay because you run a level 1 spellcaster type Maiden. Go back to the lovely Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Next, we've got 2 Spellbook of Life. Again, prophecy decks mainly only run 1. I think this is great because it just gives you access to higher level, wider variety of synchros with the level changing ability when you bring back monsters such as Effect Veiler or Maiden with Eyes of Blue, your primary target to bring back. Got 2 Wisdom, great for protection, but also very important for the main element of the deck with the targeting of Maiden, as you can target her, forcing her effect to go off, as you can't always rely on your opponent attacking it. In fact, you very rarely can. 2 Eternity, you have to run 2. Although the deck recycles with Tower, it's best to run 2 because you do get through them, and there are times when you do have both in the graveyard, and that's a very disturbing time to be at. 1 Spellbook of Fate, unfortunately. I wish you could run more of this card, but I can see why Konami have limited it to 1. It's a very, very powerful card. In that it targets at resolution, which causes major problems for the opponent. 1 Spellbook of Power. This is a great way to get Maiden's effect off. It's the main way I use. The attack boost as well is just a nice little bonus. But you can also use it on things like Hip Hop and also Blue Eyes herself, which I'll get to where you can do that in the side deck. Staples now. 2 Wiretap, 2 Divine Wrath, 2 Mirror Force. This was built before the new Forbidden Limited list. 2 MST, 1 Bottomless, 1 Compulse, 1 Solemn Warning. Pretty bog standard side staples there. Divine Wrath, great if you can discard something like a Blue Eyes, because maybe you can get Blue Eyes back from the graveyard, because you don't really want it in your hand, and it's better than discarding some of the other more useful cards that you may have in your hand, such as High Priestesses and Spellbook spell cards. Extra deck now. When I can get it off the side. There we go. For Xyz, we've got one Getchi Getchi, one Herald of Pure Light, Shining Elf, and a Downerd Magician. What I find with Prophecy is you do mainly only really make the Shining Elf and then go straight into the Downerd. The other two, it's really up to player choice, I find. I quite like, I haven't really had to make Getchi or Herald, I've just gone into Shelf and then straight into Downerd. It really doesn't matter what rank 2s you use, but I do recommend Shining Elf. Level 7s, got Big Eye, Dracosac, and Hierophant. I bought a Big Eye and a Dracosac purposely for this deck. I've not made them once. There are the situations where you can make Big Eye and Hierophant and Dracosac, where you have 2 Priestess on board. This is really that's really more in the case of Pure Prophecy or Priestess Turbo, where you're running 3. They're nice options to have if the situation arises, but particularly in the case of Dracosac, actually leaving the 2 Priestesses on board is a slightly better idea. What can I say? Rank 7s are dying a death. Synchros now. We've got Catasta and Armades. Again, to make these you do generally need a Spellbook of Life involved, but they're great to have as backup plans. They've both got amazing effects, particularly, well, not in any particular case. If you're going up against Chainburn or something like that, or Exodia, Armades is just fantastic. They just can't do anything. They can't drop Battle Fader, so you're certain to get at least a little bit of damage in. With a level 8 now, we've got Stardust, Scrap Dragon, and Crimson Blader. Again, with the rank 7s, you don't really make them that often. They're just nice options to have in there, and also just pad out the extra deck a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I've not actually made them in this deck, but from other decks I know they are good cards to run. They are very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh cards, as many of my friends would say. Got 2 Azure Eyes in this build. I was thinking about 3, but I find 2 is plenty. If you've got 2 on board, you're doing a good job. These are great. This is the extra thing you make the most. It's just a really versatile card. It constantly revives the Blue Eyes, protects itself for a turn, and so the initial responses like bottomless or Compulse are completely gone. So you're safe for a turn. The next up is Star Eater. It is possible to make Star Eater in this deck. For example, Spellbook Life by banishing Blue Boy to bring back Maiden. You can go into it that way. Or actually use the Blue Boy as synchro material for Star Eater along with the Blue Eyes and the Maiden. Again, Star Eater is really good, especially if you're going against a stall deck. The only thing that they can't Swift Scarecrow, they have to use something like Battle Fader, and so it's just guaranteed damage. And there's an extra beat stick for Prophecy, so I've found that actually Prophecy don't have that much power behind them, and so I find this build just adds a little bit of kick. I have not sorted this side deck out. So I think we've got 2 traps done. I like the card personally. I think it's really, really, really funny. really nice actually. It just stops. It stops things you don't want to happen. Got 2 DNA surgery. Obvious thing to run. Even pure prophecy decks run this in their side deck. You call Spellcaster, and it means you can use your wisdoms and your powers to actually target Blue Eyes and the other stuff you run. Especially in this build, so you can just protect your field a little bit more. And double power on a Blue Eyes is a hilarious play and should always be done when possible. Actually won games at a regional event with that. Transmigration Prophecy. It's great in the mirror match. It's just a good all-round card. It interrupts plays, particularly in the Evil Swarm matchup where you can actually shuffle back the Kirkian food. It just interrupts plays, and it's just really a really good card. Ceasefire, yes, I do scoop that low to run Ceasefire in my side deck. I haven't Ceasefired anyone for game yet, but when the opportunity does arise itself, I shall do it, and I will feel no regrets whatsoever. Next, double Max C. Why anybody wouldn't run Max C? In this format we are getting it to a lot more chains, special summons, and so Maxi is just a good card. You get plus off of it. There's just no reason whatsoever to not run it. Next up is 2 Overworked. I find these are really good against Madolshi, Harpies, and also the occasional Fire Fist set that you still get running around. Along with Bujins, they do use Tenki, so an all-round good card still. Next up is the bit I particularly like, is the conversion side. Is 3 Temperance of Prophecy and 1 Wild of Prophecy. It's great to actually be able to go into pure prophecy. You take up the 2 maidens and 2 blue eyes, and you go straight into the pure prophecy build. People if they do have side deck cards prepared for a maiden, or will be useful against cards like maiden or blue eyes, then they'll be siding those in game too, to then be able to side in with essentially a slightly different deck. Is a great thing. Conversion sides have always been very, very good if they can be pulled off, and in this case it can. I've yet to actually use World Kaboom Effect, but I've seen other people do it, and it does look rather entertaining, so it'd be nice to one day pull it off. That's the deck profile done. Yeah, that's just my interpretation of it. I hope you enjoy it. Please test it out, and join me next time for an Evil Swarm deck profile. See you later.